Shkoyer Godel.
Okay, we gotta rock and roll. Please forgive me, I gotta leave a few minutes early.
I'll forgive you if there's no questions today. It's at night.
I won't say anything.
Okay. I got. Thank you. I'm all set over here. Rabbi Isai, you're going to have some beautiful sugis here. It's Kedai. Whoever has money for Menachem Mata for the Sima Shas, v'chulu. We're holding up Yud Gimel Amid Beis, brand new Mishnah, brand new Sugya. Today we're going to be discussing if a person takes a single action, what is the most korbanos he could possibly bring in any situation? He's going to be that guy, going to try to do all the various in the world. What's the max in terms of korbanos? First Mishnah we're going to talk about is meat. Then we're going to move on to arayas. Says the Mishnah, Yesh oichel achilo achas v'chayiv aleh arba chatois. Somebody's starting already. Baruch Hashem, I didn't hear. There is somebody that eats an achila, one bite of meat, v'chayiv aleh arba chatois. And it comes out that he's chayiv 4 chatois, v'osham echad, and 1 osham. What's the case? Tomei shochal chelev. It started out, this piece of meat started out as a chelev. V'haya noisar. We'll see, it's not so partial where he's tummy. It makes more sense he's tummy later. V'haya noisar, then it became noisar, min ha-mukdashim, b'yom ha-kippurim. I'm going to explain everything. Rabbi Meir Omer, im haya Shabbos v'yitziyah chayov, omru loi, enu min Hashem. So, Rabbi Meir says, in addition to the 5 korbanos that he brings, what happens if he takes it out from Rishus to Rishus on Shabbos? Hold on, let me explain. If he took it out from one Rishus, in other words, he put it in his mouth. What's interesting, Rashi doesn't really explain it, but I think the pshat is, he takes it out from one Rishus, goes into another Rishus, and he swallows it. His swallowing it is a hanocha. It's as if he put it down. Fine. That itself is this deraisa, chayiv koros, chatos. So we could add that. And they say, wait a minute, we're talking about eating, something that's usher within food, not you doing a chil Shabbos on the side. Let's stick to the topic, which is eating. Fine. Now the Gemara is going to explain. These are just words, everything will be understood. Top of Yudalat Amud Aleph. Neima Islay Rabbi Meir Isu Chalal Isur. Is it possible that Rabbi Meir holds that a Isur could, the same Isur, without any special Hoysafos, without adding anything to the Isur, could add onto another Isur? For instance, Rashi brings a case, what if you have a pig that died and you ate from it? How many Isurim you're over? You're over on one Isur called pig. Right now it's Nevela. Nevela didn't add anything to the Isur of pork. It's the same size. Whoa, time out, 5 minutes. It's the same size as the other Isser. It's not wider, bigger, and I'll explain. So it's the same Isser. It's either Chelev, Behema Tmeya, or Nevela, but it's not like you added an Isser. Now, Nihi the Isser Chalal Isser. So the Gemara answers, how is it possible to do these Isser? I'll explain to you. Each Isser is larger than the other Isser. It takes up more room. Nihi the Isser Chalal Isser Lesle, you're right. Remeir doesn't hold of Isser Chalal Isser. Isser Koilel, the Isser Moisef Islay. Okay? Don't get nervous. We had these concepts already. This is not even the chart. You want to see a chart? Let me show you what a chart looks like before we get there, because I don't want to scare anybody. See? What? Yeah, exactly.
4 o'clock in the morning.
It's all night. This a chart like this takes all night. I didn't do it though. I just colored it.
You just have to know where to copy it from.
Yeah, you have to understand it. There's a lot of boxes here, and it's very simple to understand. Fine. What's going on here? Issa Moisef. Very interestingly, it's kedai to see Rashi, because you're not going to believe what Rashi says here. Rashi dibra maskil migu denesa bechatichus daharis, because everybody thinks that briskers have special language. It goes like this. Rashi says, "It's a nami uchelav mishum tuma v'hainu koilel. The loy toisev isura chefza Ela Gavra. So here's the Yisai for that whole thing, this Gavra and Chefza. What is Rashi saying? Very simple. If you look at this chart right over here, here's the first Isser called Chaylev. It's a small Isser. I try to get steers upside down and show like kilo, it's expanding. I don't know if you can see, it might even look like steers upside up. I don't know. But Akopanim Chaylev is the first Isser. After you have Chaylev, what happened was you said that piece of meat with the Chaylev should be Hegdish. So what did you just do? You just added that it should be Asr Bahana. Until now you were allowed to eat the whole animal, now it's Asr Bahana. You just added to it. What about the 5 minutes? So now, on top of that, after that happened, you added another thing called Noisar. You left it over Patzit Zman. Noisar now becomes Asr even to the Mizbeach. Until now it was Mutter to the Mizbeach, now it's Asr Mizbeach. So each Isser adds another category, another thing, but it's within the meat, within the Chefza. When you're looking at the meat, this is the meat, this whole green is meat. It started at a small Isser, became a medium Isser, then it became a giant Isser, became Asr for everybody, Asr Bahana, Asr to the Mizbeach. Isser Koilel is you. Or it could mean that also to go to Koilel. That's probably where you got your thing. Isser Koilel, Levi's here, fine. Isser Koilel means that the Isser is on the person, on the Gavra, nothing to do with the meat. You're not allowed to eat on Yom Kippur. You're not allowed to eat, nothing to do with this piece of meat. I didn't add an Isser Yom Kippur into the meat. The Isser Yom Kippur is on the person eating the meat. Now he's also to eat all the foods in his refrigerator, including this piece of meat. So Memela, I add another Isser to this piece of meat, called Yom Kippur. When that person becomes Tomei, he himself became Tomei, not the meat. So the Isser is on him because he's not allowed to eat now all the haris in his house. So Memela, the piece of Chaylev, which was already Asr before, has another Isser called Tuma. But that's Koilo. I didn't add it to the piece of meat. What I added to the piece of meat is Hegdish. The actual piece of meat became Hegdish. And then Noisar, the actual piece of meat, became Noisar. So now I have a total of 5 Isurim. Where do I come up with 6, the Mishnah says? Because this guy over here, Hegdish, if I use it, I'm Moyel, and I have to bring a Asham from Ela. So Memela, I have a case where I have 60 Isurim. Says the Gemara. Now we can see it inside. What? Lino, you're talking about Noisar.
Next day.
Isser Koil of Isser Moisif, Islay. So even if you don't hold Isser Chalal Isser, but you hold about Isser Koil and Isser Moisif, everybody's going to agree to that. That once you add a little bit, it's fine. All these charts are on there.
No, they're not.
Oh, this guy's not.
Oh, all them on this and
I had a big problem, but fine.
Hey, cut it off here, Mazin.
Because it's because it wasn't there, and I had to photocopy it from a thing. Because I had a photocopy, I had to take it with my phone. That's the whole problem. Now here the Gemara goes through it step by step. We already did this. A person who is tar, no problem with the person. All he's looking at when he's looking at the piece of meat is one isser called chaylev. Now when he becomes tamei, migu the asur bechatichos tahayre. Since this guy that became tamei is also in other chatichos, I just broke it down to all the isser moisefs, and then I spoke about the isser koilel. The Gemara is going to mix them up and go in a certain order. So now this guy became tamei. So since all the meat in his refrigerator become asur to him, so this piece of tamei also became asur to him. Now chaylev was asur for him just to eat. Once agdashe, he went to the next step. He was magdish the piece of meat. Now, what is that called? That's called the isur moisif. Migud the toisef be'isura the hana. Once he added something to the piece of meat, where now it became wider and it's asur b'hana, toisef be'gabe chaylev. So that isur also went into the chaylev. You don't say, oh, stop, no isurim could come in here, because just like chaylev cannot be pork, and you can't add neveil to chaylev. No, you could add an isur hana to it because it's wider.
Chaylev is not also banana.
No,
Chaylev will say no.
right? It's not also banana until he's magdish. Until he's magdish. Now, once magdish, I could put it. It's a murim. I could put it on the mizbeach. Vakati lahed you do the asur. Avli gavoy shori. You could put it on the mizbeach. Havli noisa. Now noisa shows up. Another isur and says I can't even put it on the mizbeach. Migud the toisav isur like gabi gavoya. Toisav gabi. Now, so I have Noisar, I have Chaylev. Chalalei Yom Kippur. Now, all of a sudden, we show up at Yom Kippur today. All my food is also because it's Yom Kippur, so this food also has the Isra Yom Kippur. That is koilo, right? That down here you have Yom Kippur on the bottom cut off in the Isra koilo, and Tomei is Isra koilo because there's nothing to do with the meat; it has to do with the man. Ask the Gemara a side question. I have another case. He takes another animal, and he thinks in his head while he's shechting it that he's going to eat it michutz lezman 3 days later. That automatically becomes pigul. Now I eat a kazayis of this, of 5 isurim, and another kazayis of pigul, and now I just ate. I'm chayav 7 korbanos. How come we don't talk about the 5 chatois? Says the Gemara, I'm talking about one animal. The Mishnah makes sense. I'm talking about one animal, and soon the Gemara is going to even break it down to one kazayis of the one animal. Okay, shkoyach, I'm going to go all over the world and get all different. No, I'm talking about in one piece. How many chiyuvim could I have in one animal? Wait a minute, I could do noiser and pigul in one animal. What is the problem with noiser and pigul, Rabbi Isai? Because once I do pigul in my head, what happens before I even eat it? When am I chayiv kars? When I eat that pigul machshava. I shecht an animal, I think to myself, I'm going to eat this in 4 days from now. The animal just became aser. Forget about my chiyuv. My chiyuv kars happens when I eat it later on. But right now I passel the animal. I can't continue with the avodah. I'm done. If I continue, whatever, but the animal is passel. So if the animal is passel, I can never get to a matzav of noisar. How do I ever get to noisar?
Never got on the mizbeach.
I can't put it on the mizbeach. It's pigul. I ruined it with my head. So on the same animal I can't have. Frag the Gemara, but I could have it in the same animal. How? If I went ahead and I finished all the avodas, shloik halacha, let's say, and then I took a piece of the meat and I put it on the mizbeach. Against the halacha. The meat putting it on the mizbeach, like we had also in Zvachim, is mafkia the isser pigul from that animal, and then it turns into noiser. So I don't need 2 animals. I can do it from one animal. The noiser pigul.
Still remain over on.
Yeah, of course you're over and everything. You're over more yisurim for doing it. Besides, you have the pigul on the rest of the animal. V'noiser pigul b'chad behem aloi mishkachas lo. Alam aloi. Mishkachas lo kigoyim shehelo ever pigul legabi mizbeach. He put it on the mizbeach. Anyways, the poka pigule minei. By me putting on the mizbeach against the halacha, I get rid of the isur pigul. V'haveli noiser. And what remains here is the isur noiser. We're just jumping a second to a mincha. He did a whole kmitza, the same problem with pigul and a kmitza. I could get rid of the pigul if I put on the mizbeach. Says Gemara, no. Basically, the Gemara is doing what it always does. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's deducing one thing after another until we get to the point. We want to prove that we're talking about a kizayis. Maybe we're talking about 2 animals. It can't be talking about 2. It's better not to talk about 2 animals. Maybe we're talking about 1 animal. Or maybe we're talking about 1 aver. Finally, we're going to say we're talking about 1 kizayis. Wait a minute. Even on 1 limb, I could have half the limb pigul and half the limb noisar. So how come I don't have that case in the Mishnah of noisar and pigul? How come I don't have pigul? Half of it is on the mizbeach, and that half that's on the mizbeach, we just said the pigul flies away and remains a noisar. And the other half that's off the mizbeach is considered pigul. Whatever it is. Half a limb. You have a limb, half here, half there. That was mizbeach, pagim pigul, bavali noisar. Comes pigul shalom mizbeach, pagim pigul mimeno, bavali noisar. Kitzer, we can't figure out what's the roiv. You can't put it exactly 50%, that's impossible halachically. So in you're going to have 51%, whatever it is, whatever the 51% is. If it's the pigul, then the whole aver is pigul. If the 51% is nicer, then the whole aver is nicer. You can't split an aver in half. Ruba the broi, shad the broi. Now, if that's the case, as the Gemara, Tivsha the boy, Rami Bar Chama, Hocha bevar macharoi v'loi. We had a funny, we had an interesting sugya in Zvachim about a Bechor that was born, how much of the Bechor was born, if most of its body with most of its limb. Remember that whole sugya? With most of its limb, it's a roy, but maybe the limb goes back into the body because most of it's in the body. The kids are a whole sugya. Over here, I can be Pasha the Shaila. 51% is the Machriya. Ella, the bottom line is, because I'm trying to find how I'm chayav 5 chatois with 1 kizayis. I'm not discussing Bechal, 2 zaysim. The only way you could get pigul and noisar is if I use 2 separate kizaysim. 1 kizayis of noisar, 1 kizayis of pigul. I'm trying to get all 5 into 1 kizayis. You're right. And so the Gemara says, you want to be that guy that's over 6 chatois, you're going to have to eat 2 kizaysim. If you could do 2 kizaysim, fine. I'm coming up with a riddle. Here's my riddle. How is it possible for a person to eat 1 kizayis and be over 5 things? You have to come up with 5 ways. You can't use noiser and pickle because it's now that doesn't work in 1 kazayis. That only works. That ruins the riddle. That only works in 2 kazaysim. One of the things in our Mishnah was Yom Kippur. What's the shir achila of Yom Kippur? 2 kazaysim. Koseves is 2 kazaysim, like a beitza. So how did you come up with this kazayis? The whole Mishnah is talking about 2 kazaysim. V'katani Yom Kippurim koseves u'du b'chayev v'koseves is bo shnei zaysim. Omer B'zer, a beautiful answer. He ate a kidney, like we saw by the shchita. The kidney has a nice layer of fat on it. So he ate 1 kazayis beheter on Yom Kippur, and 1 kazayis was the chaylev. For the achilas Yom Kippur, you have to eat 2 kazaysim. So he ate a Danish, 1 kazayis, and then he ate 1 kazayis a chaylev. And that piece of chaylev is also hegdish, and also noisar, and also everything. You don't have to eat 2 kazaysim of chaylev. In the Mishnah, we're talking about 1 kazayis a chaylev. Yom Kippur, he filled up his mouth with other stuff. Rav Papa Omar, it's still 5 minutes. Rav Papa Omar can go into Malya B'tamri. Fine, it doesn't matter what he ate. If he ate a kidney or he ate a date, same teretz. He just filled up his mouth with other food besides that thing. He says, no, you know what? You're right. We're talking about even pigul, even noisar, and you know what? There's 5 chatois. Going to ocha kazayis pigul. How do you have it? You have a kazayis of noisar, and in addition to that, you have another kazayis of pigul. But let me and he doesn't use that teretz that we're only talking about a kazayis. No, we could talk about 2. We could talk about a neighbor, 2 animals. I don't care, whatever it is. Give me all the cases in the world that in achila you're over 5 chatois and a asham. V'nisni sheish chatois. Wait a minute. So if I could do other animals and other stuff, I have another case. V'nuk we could go into ochal nami kazayis dam. There's another issue called dam. What could you stuff into your mouth in 1 shot? We just said that in Yom Kippur, the shear is a keseves because that's what you're stuffing in your mouth. That's all your mouth fits. So the kitzur, your mouth fits 2 kazaysim. And memela, I can't get another kazayis in there. I just can't fit another kazayis adam. So I'm stuck with pigul and noisar. What? But that's not achila.
1 kazayis of 5, and then another kazayis, second kazayis of another 5. It's endless.
No, you wouldn't be chayiv other karbonos in 1 helam.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's shtei halamas.
Shtei halamas.
Yeah. What you're saying.
Okay, so then I did the next thing. I'm saying in 1 shot. Yeah. V'shir chachomim de'ein beis hablio machzik yoyzim mishnei zeisim. I have a riddle. It's a dumb riddle. Whoever knows the answer, you shouldn't say it right away. How come the Gemara doesn't say here? There's another Issur Kares in the Torah. I found one. Chametz and Pesach. He ate chametz together. He ate a hamburger. He ate a chaylev that's noisar, that's this on a bun and ate it. Why not? Anybody? What? Oh, who just said that? Reuven Shade. Very good. It's Yom Kippur today. It's not Pesach. Okay, but what you're saying is also good. I like what you're saying too. That it's a different achila. We're talking about 1 achila. The Mishnah is trying to stick to meat and not go the. But I think in terms of a riddle, his is the real answer. We're talking about on Yom Kippur. The way to get there is on Yom Kippur. It's not in general. No, I'm trying to add another Isser. I'm trying to add a seventh Isser. Yeah. Remei Oimer, V'nisnim Hoitzio Chayov, my time Aktonim Hoysa Shabbos. If, going back to my riddle now, we're talking about Yom Kippur now. So then why does Rameir say, oh, and if you took it outside, Hoitzah on Shabbos is Asr, Tzah on Yom Kippur is also Asr? Why does he mention Shabbos? It doesn't have to be on a Shabbos. It could be on a Wednesday. Yom Kippur, it's Asr to, I don't even know if Yom Kippur falls out on Wednesday, but let's say it does. Is over on Hoitzah. Mike Tanik Doni Moises Shabbos. Omer from the Gemara, don't worry about this. It's just it's a Havamina. Zoisei Meres, you can prove from here, Eruv Vaitzal Shabbos, and Eruv Vaitzal Yom Kippur. There's no Isser to carry on Yom Kippur, maybe. Mimai, Dumi Yesh Eruv Vaitzal Yom Kippurim. Vachik Emois Shabbos Vaitzio, Yichayv Avim Shabbos Yom Kippurim. Maybe the Mishnah is just coming to tell you that Yichayv two Yisurim. A special Isser Vaitzal on Yom Kippur, Vaitzal for Shabbos. Eli Itma derived from this thing that you thought is Amaratzis, or not a good pshat, he said on something else. I Itma derived from Alado Itmar. The Sanya v'shilach biyad ish iti. He took the sorah mishtaleach and he sent it in the hands of ish iti. What in the world does that mean? We never understood it until this Gemara. Ish lahachshir sazar. It can be even a Yisrael. The guy doing the sorah mishtaleach doesn't have to be a kohen. Chiddush. Iti afilu betuma. He could be tomei. Also big chiddush. V'afilu b'Shabbos. So it says mefurish Shabbos. Okay, and then it says in the last final halacha iti b'mezuman. You have to designate this Yisrael Tomei guy one day earlier. You can't just look around like a gabbai looking for shlishi. You have to say this guy the day before Yom Kippur. He's going to do it. Fine. Yeah. You be dazzles. Ktoni iti afilu b'Shabbos. Omer Rafram Zoisei Meres. Why does it say afilu b'Shabbos? Rafram asked a good kasha. Yeah. Rafram is asking a kasha l'chayra. Why does the Brisa bring that you could do it even on Shabbos? You could do it on Shabbos. It's Yom Kippur. It should say he's allowed to carry this sick animal. This Sarah Mishtech started limping. He's very weak. He puts him on his shoulder, says Rashi, and walks him out. It's Yom Kippur. What's afilu b'Shabbos? Afilu b'Yom Kippur. So what's the simple answer? Because on Yom Kippur it's Pasha Yiladu, because it's Yom Kippur. It's Sarah Lazaz. You have to do it, whatever it takes.
This is the Avodah.
This is the Avodah. This is where he said his pshat. L'chayr, you see that there's no carrying on Yom Kippur, there's no isser. Mimai, ma pito, shani sar mishtaleach dechsher b'Yom Kippur b'kach. That's the avodah, to carry it and take him out. El the Rav from Berusa, I wonder from the Dalit over here because I didn't even look, but usually it says Bedusa. Yeah, okay, fine. B'kitzur, it's not a straight brisa. You don't have to keep it. It says the Mishnah. Let me set this up a little bit for Mendy. Not for you. Chas v'shalom. For Avi. This is the world's greatest shlemazel. That's what I'm going to call this guy. He, by mistake.
He's doing a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. That's why I said he's the world's greatest shlemazel. By mistake, he happened to have a relationship with his own mother. And she got pregnant. And now came a girl. This girl is his sister and his daughter. So now if he by mistake one more time has another mistake and is with his daughter's sister, how many times is he over? 2 times, because it's his sister and his daughter. This Shlemazel was mamish, b'shoigig, because we're talking about chatos. B'shoigig, he's by his mother, now he's with his daughter's sister. Now how do you get another 4 Yisurim here? No, I challenge you to figure this out.
Yom Kippur?
No, that's eating.
This could be 5 minutes are up.
Okay, fine. Here's the case. In my charts, all green means marriage. She married. This girl Rachel is very busy. She not only did she get raped by her father by mistake, she married her father's brother Shimon. Reuven and Shimon are always brothers. The characters in all these charts are Reuven and usually Rachel. 90% of the time Rachel, then at the end it goes into Leah, I'm not sure why. So Reuven, he had a relationship with his mother Miriam, and they had a daughter Rachel. Fine, that we know. But this Rachel went ahead and she married Reuven's brother. What does she become? An Eishes Ach. Then Shimon dies. In all cases, it's going to go the same. Now, once we know this case, we know them. The Baruch Hashem, the way the Shas did it is they gave us the easiest case first. Then it just gets a little bit broader and more complicated. And then she was looking for a shidduch, so she went and she married her father's uncle, which is called Eshes. She became Eshes Achi Aviv. She became Aviv, meaning Yaakov Avinu is Reuven's father, Aviv. The brother of Yaakov Avinu is Yisrael, or Esau. By the way, I forgot to mention. Let's stop in the first case. When she marries Shimon, what did she do? Don't forget about the first sugya. She had to do something called Isser Moisef. She had to add an Isser to her father, or to herself. She became more Asr. Why? Because now, by marrying Shimon, all of Shimon's brothers became Asr. So she was Moisef Isurim to the world, therefore it's also Moisef to her father, Deishesach. Because her father / brother is already also to her because she's a sister and a daughter. So how do you get another Isser on top of that? By being Moisef Isser. By doing Eishes Ach, all of Shimon's brothers from a different parent, not related to Reuben, from the mother, let's say, are all Asr to her. Yes. She became more Asr to more people in the world. I'll give you an example. What's the next example? He dies, all these people die, and then she marries a general guy in the world. She just became Eishes Ish. And when she becomes Eishes Ish, the whole world becomes Asr to her. She's Moisef Isser to the whole world. And then she becomes a Nida, so now she's just Moisef Isser to her husband that was Mutter to her. The one guy in the world that's Mutter to her just became Asr to her, so the Nida expanded the Isser even more. So you can understand how Eishes Ach expanded a little bit to that family. And Eishes Ish expanded. I just thought about a kasha. I don't want to even ask it. I hope nobody asks it. Fine. What? Yeah. Yeah, of course.
She's also anyway.
Oh, so Tosis asks you kasha, and Tosis asks you kasha. Tosis answers. Are we talking about Mamzerim?
Sorry?
She's marrying Mamzerim here. Everybody's Mamzerim. But it's a good kasha. It's a good kasha. What? Shimon, yeah.
Because he's a mamzer?
No, Shimon is not related to her. Shimon is not related to her. Shimon is related to her father Reuven. But it's this way, Yaakov. Not. She's a. Yeah, why not? What?
The first marriage.
Oh, that's my kasha that I was going to ask. No, I don't know. I have to.
But once she's either divorced or he
Divorced. Because he dies, so that. But I'm saying she had this. You're right. Yeah, that's the answer. She did once have Eishes, but now you reinstated Eishes. Okay, let's go by.
If the marriage itself is doing the moisid, which it is.
Oh no. Okay, fine. We have enough money. What? What do you say? I'm sorry.
The marriage itself makes the moisid, but before she's married,
Yeah.
even though she wasn't married in the past.
Yeah. I'm saying she did. My mistake was that she was the Eishes once upon a time, but the Eishes went away, and now it is reinstated. Says the Mishnah. Yesh bo bio achas, one relationship. V'chayev oleo sheish chatois. We have to move. Sheish chatois. A person has one relationship and he's chayev 5 korbanos. Ketzad habal bitoy on his own daughter. Chayev oleo mishum bitoy v'achoisoi, because we explained already. He had a relationship with his own mother, and out came a daughter, so it's his daughter and his sister at the same time. Veishes Achav, because she married his brother. Veishes Achiyaviv, because she married the uncle, and that's a Moisef, the sons. Veishes Ish, all the world is Moisef, Venida, and her own husband becomes Asat to her, and that's also Moisef. Says the Gemara Daf Yudal Beis. V'ha Lesle Libri Meir Isachalal Iser. We already established on Omid Aleph, based on Omid Aleph, because the Gemara says, does he? And the Gemara says, no, he doesn't. So basically, we established. And now our Mishnah is L'char Meir, because it's Tam Mastis Meir. So again, we have to just explain it. What I just explained. Nihi the Isur Chalal Isur Leslie. You're right. Isur Moisif. If you take a Isur and add it to the woman herself, then it works. More people is more of a Isur. V'Isur Koilo. And the Shita sticks in here. V'Isur Bevasachas Islay. Because over here we have a daughter and a sister that were born, or maybe when she was 3 years old, became also at the same millisecond. So maybe those two are chal. That's not a problem right now in the Gemara to say that two Yisurim are chal at the same time. Kigoin Shabal Imoy. He had a relationship with his mother. V'hoilid Bas, and he had a daughter. The Isur Bitu V'achoisi B'hadei Adoli Yossi. So it's together. That's why the Shita sticks in that word over there. Nisis La'achiv. Then she marries her father's brother. Migui de Toisef Isur L'gabi Achin. Toisef Isur L'gabi Didei. Since by that marriage more people became Asur, who? The brothers. So Mamela, the father Ruvain also gets more Isur. Nisis Lachiaviv. Then she goes, her husband dies, divorces her, she marries her father's brother, for her father's father's brother. Her uncle, her father's uncle's brother, her father's uncle. Migui de Toisef Isur L'gabi Shar Achei Aviv, or Rashi says a little better, maybe a girsa here, that the Isur is to this uncle's kids. Because the way it says it over here is a little problematic. So the uncle's kids is a new Isur. So he has also the Isur of Achi, Eshes Achi Aviv. Havale Eshes Ish. Now she also became Eshes Ish. Migu de Toisef Isur L'gabi Alma, to the whole world. Toisef Nam L'gabi Didei. Havale Nida. Then she turned into Nida. Migu de Toisef Isur L'gabi Baila. The one person in the world that she's mutter to, she became also to. So now, if her own father, brother, B'shoigig, had a relationship with her, he's over also a Nida, because the Nida went onto her own husband when she became a Nida. It was moist of another Isser to this woman. So maybe that's 6.
Second time with one, this is the first
No, this is the first time with her. Another case. Haba al-bas bitoy. Oh, okay, so this was the very elaborate chart, but I think it's very simple. Again, all green are men she married in her life, which over here there's 4. Ruvain is what?
Which one was the first?
I'm going to go through it. Ruvain is the Shlomazel guy. He's the guy being over all the Yisurim. Rachel is the woman, the Nidon. Okay? Ruvain is married to 2 women, Sarah and Rivka. That's Negea for one of the Yisurim. Through his marriage to Rivka, he has Leah, who gets married to Lavan, and they have a kid called Rachel. So Rachel, right now, is Reuven's granddaughter, Bas Bitoy. Again, Reuven had a daughter, Leah, and Leah had a daughter, Rachel. She's a granddaughter, Bas Bitoy. It happens to be that Rachel's father, Lavan, is a big Rasha, and I don't know if he's a big Rasha. He married also Sarah, who happens to be Reuven's wife. So Reuven's wife, Sarah, who's a daughter of this, is also a sister of Rachel. Sarah and Rachel are sisters because they share the same father, Lavan. Lavan had a daughter, Sarah. She married Reuven. Forget about everything else. One chasana, great. Lavan had another daughter called Rachel. He had this daughter with Leah. And this Rachel and Sarah become sisters. So therefore, if Reuven has a relationship with Rachel, he actually was with his wife, Sarah's sister. And granddaughter. And 7 other things. What other things? So now, and then all these other things we had before. So these are all simple. Rachel goes and marries Moshe, who's Reuven's son. Reuven is the Shlomazel that was with Rachel, but he also happens to be her father-in-law. Because her husband is called Moshe, the son of Reuven. So she's his Kala, Kalasai. Then Moshe dies, she goes and marries who? The Eshesach. She becomes Eshesach by marrying Shimon. Shimon is easy. And then he dies, so she goes and marries Achi Aviv, the uncle, Uncle Esav. Reuven's uncle. Who's in real life? Who's Reuven's uncle? Esav. Then there's another case. What happens if Esav dies without children? So she falls liyibum to Yaakov. Yaakov happens to be Reuven's own father. So that's Eshesach. That's the whole case. Again, anybody?
Should be budget from that.
10 minutes.
When he dies,
Yeah.
will she actually be married to him?
There's no
Why is there Yibum? There's no Yibum.
Why not? Why can't he legally be married? Yeah, he could legally be married. Halachically, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She's a granddaughter, yeah. It's typhus. Only with the Rabbanan. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see in the Gemara. Says the Mishnah. Haba al bas bitoy. Chayiv oleh mishum bas bitoy. There's a special isser on the daughter of his wife, not his granddaughter, daughter of his wife. Vikalasoi, and she turned into his daughter-in-law, as we said, because Rachel married Reuven's son. So that's a straight-out daughter-in-law. Ve'eshes achiv, but then later on she married Reuven's brother. Ve'eshes achiyaviv, then she married Reuven's uncle. Va'choisishtoi, and she also happens to be the sister of Reuven's wife, Sarah, because Sarah is the daughter of Lavan, and so is she herself. Rachel is also the daughter of Lavan. And later on, after all her husbands died, all four of these guys died, and she married Stam, a guy in the street. So now she's Eishes Ish. And then she became a Nida, so now she has all these Yisur. Total of 7 Yisur. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Im Ovar Zokin Unisa, if the grandfather Yaakov married her, he was over Isser, Chayiv Oleh Mishum Eishes Av. So it seems like Mr. Kornbluth, but the Gemara says not like that. It seems like he's over Isser. V'chein Haba al Basishtei. This we need another chart called Basishtei chart. Okay, what's going on here? There's 6 Yisurim here. Yeah, I warned you. This, by the way, has to be the most complicated chart I've ever seen in my life, especially when it's upside down. Here's Reuven and Rachel. Reuven married Miriam. Let's say he married her legally. Miriam went ahead and had a bad relationship with her father-in-law, Yaakov. And they had a kid called Rachel. Once you have a kid like that, all tzaras break out. And then she's susceptible to being raped b'shoigig. Then she went and she married Shimon. Shimon is again Eshesach. Later on she married Yisrael, who's Eshes Achiyaviv. So what happened here is Bas Ishtoi. Reuven's real wife is Miriam. He married her legitimately. But Miriam made a mamzeres in this world by having a relationship with her father-in-law. I don't care what she is. And they had a kid, Rachel, which is shtickle mamzeres. This mamzeres happens to be Reuven's wife's daughter. She's Reuven's wife's daughter. And Memela, she's Basishtoi. And she's also Eshesach. And also, add all the stuff to it.
The beginning was a little bit the other way around.
Why?
He married Yaakov.
No, I like it better Reuven married Miriam.
So then when he divorced her, it's not his wife anymore.
Well, what?
You don't have
Who
to
says divorced? Where's divorce?
He said he married the father. She married the father.
No, she had a bad relationship with Yaakov. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
V'chein abal bas ishtoi, v'al bas beno, v'al bas bito. Here's bas bito. 7 Isurim. So Reuven had a kid with Sarah named Leah, and Leah had a kid, Rachel. So Rachel is really the bas of Ishtoi. Ishtoi is Sarah, granddaughter bas Ishtoi. This bas Ishtoi is also Achois Ishtoi. Rachel is his wife's sister, because Yitzchak had Sarah and Rachel. So they're both sisters. She married his son, so she became his daughter-in-law. She married his brother, she became Eshesach, v'chulu. The same things. Okay? Eshesach Yoviv. The Iker is Bas Ishtoi. And Achois Ishtoi is a little bit of a chiddush here. Fine. Yeah. In all these cases, they died, divorced, whatever it is, but she kept on remarrying these people, different Nisurim. One Bia B'shoigeg is Mechayiv 7 Chatois. You have to come with a truckload of Karbonas. Says the Gemara, Ktoni Chayiv Oleh Mishum Eshesav. 4 minutes. Chayiv Oleh Mishum Eshesav. So in this case, Eshes, where is it? No, I'm sorry. The other case, Haba Bas Bitoy, over here, this case right over here, Yichayev Mishum Eshes Av. Eshes Av. The Eshes.
She married Yaakov.
No, Eshes Av, yeah. How did she fall to Yaakov? How did she get to Yaakov? The Gemara, so the Mishnah said, Oiver. I stuck in that there's a Yibum here. Misharile, how's it mutter for Yaakov to marry her? He didn't marry her. She fell. Yachi, my over. Why was he over? She happens to be the daughter-in-law of his son, and that's a shniya. That's midrabanan. The sanyo kalosei erva kalas benoy shniya. V'chein ata moitzev as benoy ubas ben benoy atzev kol adoyros. If a grandson or great grandson has a daughter-in-law, it's us to you shniya. U'miyisla Rabbi Yosi isur chalal isur. Again, we're going to go back to the suya. Rabbi Yosi holding isur chalal isur. V'tnan. So what's going to be the answer? That's isur moisef. V'tnan. Very good. We have a great case here. A person marries his mother-in-law who happens to be a Eishesish. Mother-in-law, you get Sreifa. Eishesish, you get Chenek. What's worse? Sreifa. So now we don't know how to kill him. How do you kill this guy? She's both. So, Nidam B'chamura. You give her Sreifa. No. Nidam B'zikor Rishoyna Shabalov. Whatever came first. So let's say she was married and then she had her daughter who married this guy. So first she was Eishesish, then she turned, or there's a chasana later on. So then she became Eishesish. So you give her Sreifa. If it's reverse, I'm saying if Eishesish was first, you get Chenek. If Chamois was first, Sreifa. V'tanya, okay, tzadam, Rabbi Yisrael, nidam b'zikor rishoyna, whatever comes first. Chamois v'nasa Eishesish. If she first a mother-in-law, then she was divorced. She's an almana and she had a daughter. And then she remarried, so she became Eishesish at a later date. Nidam mishum chamoisa. Eishes ish v'nasa chamoisa nidam mishum Eishesish. Omravo. So you see that ein isuchal alisser. Why don't you just give them both? Why don't you say give the chamor because she's a Eishesish and a chamoisa? No, one or the other. So you see ein isuchal alisser. Omravo mother b'isum moisif. That it added something. V'chen yosar rov and Omer Rabbi Yochanan mother b'isum moisif. Ma'isum moisif ikacha dikebrola saba. We're talking about Yaakov. Yaakov had another son somewhere, and by falling the Yibum there, that son became also. Unfortunately, we can't do the Mishnah now. But if you want, we can do it. If so, the other wants to stick around, no? Okay, it's a long daf tomorrow. Very long daf. It's Thursday. Okay. Yeah, I didn't pay. I didn't pay. I need to pay you. Menachem, don't run.